But yeah.
Okay, this is
Okay.
great meeting you, Deep, really. And hello, world. This is Shruti Pandey, and today here again on itishruti, I have one amazing guest. Uh, we haven't interacted much earlier, but just meeting him this morning and his night right now is a great pleasure and fun because last year at some conference of testing, I had a talk to give, and after that he was speaking, which is how I got to hear his talk and he got to hear my talk. And I think it's great to have a fresh energy and a positive vibe this year with Deep Barot, who is the CEO and founder of ContextQA. So it's an amazing journey, which I feel कि एम्प्लॉय से फाउंडर तक कैसे जाते हैं और क्या चीज कैसे करते हैं. सो आई थॉट कि ये भी लोगों को पता चलना चाहिए. एंड we as testers do rock the world, and there's nothing stopping us. So here's another example with Deep. So thank you so much, Deep, and I appreciate that it's late at night for you, US
Okay.
time zone, but still you're managing with IST. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah. Super excited to be a part of your show.
थैंक यू मैन, थैंक यू. आई मतलब अगर तुम्हारा लिंक्डइन भी कोई भी चेक कर लेगा, सो दे नो दैट यू started your journey, you started your career as a tester, and then you worked at different places, great companies. But I want to understand what made you start your own business or your company. अच्छा
Yeah.
खासा जॉब है, यूएस में सेटल्ड हो, बिजनेस क्यों करना है यार?
हाँ तो या ये वो कीड़ा होता है राइट कि लाइक कि हाँ तुम नहीं अपना कुछ होना चाहिए, कुछ करना है, कुछ करना है, कुछ बड़ा करना है। तो या तो एक एक वो चीज है। और फिर अपने कैरियर में भी लाइक यू गेट वेरी कंफर्टेबल कि हाँ मैंने सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट कर दिया। मैं अगर कुछ प्रोग्रामिंग सीखना चाहूँ तो भी आई कैन लर्न एनी टाइम। एंड देन डेवऑप्स भी कर लिया। सो नाउ यू आर कॉन्सेप्चुअली यू आर वेरी क्लियर कि हाँ अब नई टेक्नोलॉजी है, नथिंग यू कैन डू। सो देन यू हैव अ टू राउट्स राइट, यू गो ऑन द लीडरशिप राउट और मोर टेक्निकल साइड और गो डोमेन एक्सपर्ट। लीडरशिप में भी लाइक पीपल मैनेजमेंट और वो सभी आता है। तो आई वाज लाइक कि एमबीए करूँ उसके उससे अलावा तो लाइक इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि मैं एक रियल वर्ल्ड ही एक्सपेरिमेंट करूँ अपने आप से कि एमबीए भी लाइक इफ आई वांट टू डू एमबीए फ्रॉम द टॉप इंस्टीट्यूशन इधर बूथ शिकागो और वॉटरन इन पेंसिल्वेनिया, I need to study 2 years. I need to invest $120,000. Then why shouldn't I invest in myself? Okay, invest $120,000 as well as to give myself a 2 year of time to achieve what I can do and learn all the different aspects of the management. Either it's marketing, sales, business development, strategy, and all. And that's what I did. Like I prepared for GMAT, and then I always had me. I wanted to do the more technical side, but then I realized, okay, let me invest in myself, and that is the best gift I can do. And that's where I chose, okay, I will start my own company. And yeah, it wasn't easy to find the idea what to work on because everyone wants to start, but what to work on is also equally important. But then based on our experience, you do the like lots of research, lots of discussions with your friends and family members, other experts, and you find, okay, this is the right problem statement to invest your 2 years, and you will figure it out it is working out or not. And if it is working out, then you go more forward. So this was a very high level idea about like why I decided to start a business. Yeah.
I actually appreciate your honesty, and I don't want to take away from your shine and story, but I think after a while, मतलब, when I say after a while, it doesn't mean कि 2 महीने का experience और उसके बाद ही, but if you have worked for like 7 years, 8 years, or 10 years, after that you actually start to think that is a MBA going to help me enough? और माई वर्क एक्सपीरियंस हैज ऑल्सो टॉट मी सो मच कि लीडरशिप तो मैं वैसे भी करते आ रहा था, ये क्या मेरे को एमबीए का डिग्री नया दे देगा. सो आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी वैलिड एंड ग्रेट पॉइंट, नॉट जस्ट फॉर यूएस बट इंडिया में भी अगर आप देख रहे हैं, बिकॉज इट वॉज वेरी रिलेटेबल पॉइंट फॉर मी ऑल्सो. बिकॉज या इवन इफ यू डू दैट, यू आर लाइक इससे क्या होने वाला है. एंड I appreciate the fact that you gave yourself a gift of time and money and that liberty कि चलो कुछ करके देखते हैं. But I have two follow-up questions here.
Mhm.
एक तो है कि चलो तुमने ये डिसीजन ले लिया, एंड इट्स अ कंट्रोवर्शियल क्वेश्चन, आई एम सॉरी, बट मतलब डिड यू मूनलाइट और समथिंग, या अभी भी जैसे मैं देखती हूँ कि तुम एक जगह पे कहीं कुछ डायरेक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट हो, या यू टेक दैट एडवाइजरी रोल और वट एवर दैट माइट बी, लाइक ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं कि अपनी कंपनी स्टार्ट करने के पहले हम कुछ कुछ बैकग्राउंड में चीजें करते रहे, बिकॉज यू अंडरस्टैंड वी आर इंडियंस एंड अगेन इन इंडिया मून लाइटिंग के ऊपर तो मतलब इट्स लाइक तुमने बहुत बड़ा पाप कर दिया, सीधा नर्क में जाओगे। सो व्हाट डू यू हैव टू से अबाउट दैट कि तुमने कैसे उसको एनकाउंटर किया, ओवरकम किया? एंड हाँ चलो पहले यही कर दो, इसका ही आंसर कर दो, देन आई आस्क यू द अदर क्वेश्चन।
तो पहले तो लाइक यू विल नो कि तुम अंबानी तो हो नहीं, मीन्स यू डू नॉट हैव द लग्जरी ऑफ मनी, राइट? तो तुमको घर चलाना है, तुम्हारे लाइक आई हैव अ वाइफ एंड किड एंड फैमिली। सो सो या लाइक, और इवन if there is not, right, but you have expenses, and in the beginning you are not sure, right? So it is like first step out, right, कि तुमको बैलेंस करना है, राइट? और तुमको पता नहीं है कि तुम जो करने जा रहे हो वो कितना सही है, right? So that's the main thing. So yes, so when I was doing, right, it in US there is a concept, so it's about not non-conflicting. So it is not like because we are I'm US citizen and we have a proper permit, it doesn't mean like you cannot do work. We can do all other works as well. Just it doesn't need to be conflicting or conflict of interest with the existing company. So that is there, and that's what I also did of written permissions from my previous company at that time, because I was sure that it is not conflicting with them, and any work I was doing there as a DevOps engineer, it wasn't contradicting with what I am doing as a test automation platform developer, right? So that was the first thing that I did, and the fortunate part was the manager at that time was very appreciative what I was trying to do, because it was his territory, and we won like a Jira competition during that time. And I shared with my leader, his boss, VP of engineering. Everyone appreciated. Everyone provided me the good advice. So I think that was the moment where innovation is being appreciated, and that gave us me the momentum. And on the other side also, right, moonlighting also, as long as you are sure or you are committed to give 40 hours of your work, then it's not a problem to do other stuff on side or try what you like. So it's more about hobby, and you start as a hobby or your passion work, and then you put some milestones, some validations around that, that okay, it is working or not, it is solving any problem or not, and you go further. And then once you feel like okay, you confident, you quit the job. And that's what I did. We did the POC, we won the competition, and we felt like okay, it's good, now I need more time. And I quit my job as a DevOps engineer, and I started working fully for this context queue at the time.
Wow, this makes sense because you were absolutely right when you said earlier that इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट थिंकिंग कि चलो मैं फाउंडर बन जाता हूँ या बन जाती हूँ, बट तुम प्रॉब्लम क्या सॉल्व करोगे। एंड
Mhm.
द मोस्ट प्रॉब्लमैटिक पार्ट इज आजकल लोग प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व से ज्यादा नई प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट कर देते हैं अपने सोल्यूशंस के साथ। सो आई थिंक दिस इज अ ग्रेट पॉइंट इन सेइंग कि व्हाई नॉट स्टार्ट एज अ हॉबी एंड सी कि तुम्हें क्या अच्छा लग रहा है, नहीं लग रहा है। I
Mhm.
love that answer. It's going to help so much. And my follow up, the second follow up was about ये तो तुम्हारे हो गया, right? You handled everything with honestly and transparently, right? I also appreciate the fact कि you went to the company and you said कि हाँ मैं कुछ कर रहा हूँ. But you know the second part what I wanted to ask is on the product side. So, तो suppose तुमने ढूंढ लिया कि तुम्हें ये बनाना है, but again since past few years, let's take 3-4 years or after the pandemic, there has been a rise of all the low code, no code area, right? In general, not just testing, but everything. कभी कभी डेवलपर्स को भी डर लग जाता है कि अब ये सब आ गया तो हमारे जॉब का क्या होगा। सो like when the market is so crazy about low code no code and you are also putting out a baby which is low code no code, डर नहीं लगा कि सबके जैसा ही हो गया तो, या फिर what different I'm giving? How did you find that courage to enter into this market which is all fire right now?
Yeah, so I did this mistake in the past, where when you are so much passionate, you ignore the existence of your competitors. So I had my first startup in 2014 itself. So I built a EHR, electronic health record system for government of Gujarat,
I
and
see.
we developed and all, and we just created as a passion project or capstone project from college, and then continued. Now, fast forward right now, yes, I did the enough analysis is what is the differentiators we will have. I'm coming from the software development and DevOps background. So I wanted to solve from the problem from the different sides. And the market, I was seeing कि QA है, right? But QA के पास वर्क ही इतना है और बंदे कम है दर और एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में वर्कलोड उतना ज्यादा है, right? तो दे नीड ए टूल लाइक जीरा जैसे है प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर्स के लिए कि सिंप्लीफाई कर देता है, तो इट इज रिक्वायर्ड। अगर जीरा नहीं है तो इट इज टू मच ओवरहेड फॉर द प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर। सो सेम क्यूए के पास कोई टूल होना चाहिए। दे अडॉप्ट नहीं अडॉप्ट, उनका यूज केस क्या है वो अलग चीज है, बट मैन्युअली वो सफिशिएंट नहीं है। और द वर्क जितना आ रहा है और जितनी एक्सपेक्टेशंस है लीडरशिप को, सो मतलब कोई टूल की जरूरत तो है। नाउ द कंपटीशन विथ द अदर टूल्स। तो हमने देखा कि मार्केट में है तो लाइक यू फाइंड योर प्रोफाइल की कुछ एक्सपेंसिव है, कुछ आधा ही सॉल्व कर रहे हैं। और क्यूए इतना बड़ा स्पेक्ट्रम है कि तुमको सबको टच करना है। तुम एक को पकड़ के नहीं जा सकते कि हाँ मैंने ये ऑटोमेट कर दिया, बट तुमने क्रॉस ब्राउजर नहीं दिया। तुमने जो क्रॉस ब्राउजर दिया तो तुमने पैरामीटराइज नहीं दिया कि तुम उसको मैनेज कर सको। तुमने रियूजेबल कंपोनेंट नहीं दिए कि 1000 टेस्ट केसेस को कैसे मेंटेन करो। ये सब को दिया पर तुमने ये नहीं दिया कि तुम उतने 1000 टेस्ट केस को एक साथ रन कैसे करोगे। तो it is not a one problem, and we compared all these solutions, they didn't have these solutions। तो जो क्यूओ का प्रॉब्लम जो सॉल्व होना चाहिए वो सॉल्व नहीं हो रहा। दे आर सेलिंग एज अ वन पीस, बट वो जो इम्पैक्ट जो देना चाह रहे हैं वो नहीं हो रहा है। सो दैट्स वेयर वी आर कमिंग कि ओके, लेट अस गिव यू द मेन सॉल्यूशन फ्रॉम स्टार्ट टू एंड, एंड वी वांट टू सॉल्व योर प्रॉब्लम।
Oh man, that is ambitious. And I love the way when you were explaining this answer, I think your technology and DevOps side came into forefront and all the passion you have about that कि हाँ यार market में ये सब है. I highly appreciate your honesty, Deep. From the start, I mean, before recording also, and even during this recording of podcast, I highly appreciate whatever you have been saying. Looks, feels, and it's also genuine and honest and very transparent answers. I really appreciate it, just like your managers did. So this
Yeah,
was one section of your story, and I'm pretty sure इस journey में और भी बहुत सारे hurdles, relay race, बहुत कुछ आया होगा. Like you mentioned, सबके पास family होती है. It's not just about your spouse, kid, or something, but we are Indians. Ultimately, we have our parents or siblings or whatever that might be. So I want to come to the point कि चलो business हो गया, सब हो गया तुम्हारा. How did you get your initial customers? It could be first 5, first 10, or whatever. It doesn't have to be a number. We do not need to parameterize this, but how did you get your initial customers? चलो बन गया तुम्हारा सब कुछ. अब कोई
yeah.
खरीद फिर.
तो इसमें लाइक दो चीजें थी, राइट? कि बिकॉज यू आर कमिंग फ्रॉम द टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड, तो ये सेलिंग तुम्हारा है नहीं, राइट? मेन मेन स्किल नहीं है।
ये USP is
एंड
technology, right?
हाँ, और दूसरा चीज वो था कि बिकॉज यू आर अ टेक्निकल, you feel like कि तुम your product must be 100% ready before you sell out, or yeah, and that's never happens even now, right? There are few things always coming up and we always building. There are new feature coming up. Even I have a big team, everyone is working, but still I feel like nahi nahi aaj banana hai. But you cannot stop selling, so you should start selling from the day you start imagining your idea, not from the day you build. You should start finding the customer at the time you envision कि कौन लेगा, कैसे लेगा, किसको सेल करूंगा, कैसे यूज करेगा, and then you start taking feedback from that time. If you are not taking that, utilizing that time, you are wasting that period of time of taking feedbacks, and वो आगे जाके बहुत like double काम करवाएगा आपसे। So that was the first learning I had. Fortunately, I was selected into the one of the accelerator program in Austin, Texas, from which we got funded as well. But also, it was a 16 weeks accelerator program, so they taught us all these different processes and all, and they pushed us to talk to the customer, talk to the new customer, new users and all. So through that, yes. So first is you tap into your close network, you talk to your hundreds of close ones, right? Family, friends. No one can help because either they are not relatable, or they are not, they are feeling shy to put your stuff out there, or they don't feel comfortable or confident that your product is stable enough or not. So no one wants to put the reputation on the stack. But you will find friends such a way that or colleagues, they are like, no, 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 let me help you out, let me try. And you get the first customer, first subscription, and that gives you the more confidence, right? Like, okay, yeah, kuch to chalu hua, right? And then you just move on, move on, move on. And then yeah, so for me, yeah, initial customer was a close network, and then conferences where I gave the speech and everyone was like, oh, is it a working solution? We got Amazon as our pilot customer from the conference. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. This is turning out to be really a great podcast. मुझे बाकी सबका नहीं पता, मुझे तो बहुत मजा आ रहा है because so many places are relatable in some way or the other. Again, because I am also from technology or I come from technology, and again, this is so amazing. You not just were trying to experiment, you also went into a program where you learned things, and I think you're the second founder who has been, or third founder on this podcast, who said this about money and शुरू करो उसको बेचना. व्हाई आर यू सिटिंग विद दैट थिंग? और वो फिनिश तो जब होगा होगा. यू हैड योर ओन फ्लेयर ऑफ द आंसर, बट लिटरली यू आर द सेकंड और थर्ड फाउंडर ऑन दिस पॉडकास्ट हु हैज सेड दिस कि उसको बिलिंग करना शुरू करना चाहिए. अदरवाइज हाउ विल यू गेट टू नो कि वो कैसे हो रहा है, कैसे करना है? This makes total sense. Now I want to come to the third part of this story, which is like the climax of this movie of Deep. So I want to understand what still keeps you going, Deep. I mean, I now understand since the past 2 years that I got into, leaving the employee tag of corporate after a decade and this space. I totally appreciate more. I mean, while we uh, say everything about managers and founders ऐसे क्यों करते हैं, and which is wrong. कुछ कुछ चीजें सच में unreasonable हैं, but on the other side I also see कि it's very ambitious and it's अपना खून पसीना, इसका सैलरी, उसका पैसा, अपने बच्चे से टाइम छीन के यहाँ देना, जो हम एम्प्लॉयज की तरह भी करते हैं, बट it's not easy as a founder as well. And when you have a lot of people in your team, I'm not going to call them family क्योंकि वो एकदम cliched हो चुका है. So when you come from all that background of being an employee and running this company and creating everything, what still motivates you and keeps you going कि हाँ और करते रहना है, भले फेलियर आएगा तो क्या हुआ, करते रहना है? What still pushes you?
So coming from this, so yeah, I'm the fan of Saruk Khan, and I love his quotes, not the movies a lot, but yeah, his quotes and all. So like, yeah, so the point is, yeah, coming from the middle class background and all, right, there is nothing to lose, at least, right? And specifically after coming to the US, which is a land of opportunities, where I found fortunate to work with the wonderful colleagues and learn lots of things.
Right.
I feel like I can start tomorrow and can build this empire again, right? So, what happens if I lose anything, right? So for me, it's nothing to lose at this moment. Yes, it is time, commitment, and money, and all this is there, but it is still, it is, and I haven't committed myself to anything specific that okay, I got this one. Oh, I'm satisfied because. Yeah, like I was like more keep going on and on kind of attitude. And obviously like then also at the time in the life you realize, right, money is also important, other
Right.
things are important and all. So that is also pushing you to like, okay, work hard. And obviously like where should you invest your time? Like you invest your time in working 40 hours to 80 hours, and like is it a scalable or no? So then either you get into the business, and that's where you put your energy and effort and do the calculated risk, right, where your efforts now can be like compounded with all those things, and you will get the returns. So yeah, so and I found very fortunate this business opportunity is like you do what you like, you do more, and then you get either learning or you get the compensated, right? In either way it is the benefited to you, so it's not a loss or no regret afterwards. Yeah.
Oh man. Wow, this is amazing. I mean, I have grown up in a locality where everybody is Gujarati or was Gujarati and they still are. And I used to always wonder, and there came a point where I became a little envious also कि इनके खून में ही होता है बिजनेस, कैसे कर लेते हैं? इनका बच्चा भी आया नहीं, पैदा नहीं हुआ दुनिया में और शुरू हो जाता है, उसको कैसे समझ आती है ये सारी चीजें, राइट? सो आई थिंक दिस वन कन्वर्सेशन वाज so simplified where you put out the things the way they are without sugarcoating it, without making it कि भाई फाउंडर तो एक ऐसा भगवान होता है जिसके लेवल तक तुम पहुंच ही नहीं सकते एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. आई रियली अप्रिशिएट यू फॉर दैट बिकॉज मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है अगर मुझे ये सब समझ आ रहा है तो जो सुन रहे होंगे उनको भी शायद समझ आ रहा होगा. आई एम कीपिंग दैट बेंचमार्क, दैट लो बेंचमार्क कि शायद मुझे समझ आ रहा है तो बाकी सबको तो समझ आ ही रहा होगा. और एक आधा स्टार्टअप अगर ये सुनने के बाद बन जाए तो इसको और मुझे थैंक यू बोलना जरूरी है.
हाँ,
No,
या
I'm
सब
kidding.
सब यूनिकॉर्न
But
बनाओ।
this is really great. And Deep, if you feel कि श्रुति तुमने मुझसे कोई क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछे या मुझे कुछ और बोलना था जो मुझे लगा इस कन्वर्सेशन में कवर नहीं हुआ, तो प्लीज यू हैव ऑल द लिबर्टी. दिस इज योर स्टोरी. आई अप्रिशिएट द फैक्ट कि भले बंदा गया है यूएस में पर अभी भी फिल्मी है. सो दिस इज योर स्टोरी. अगर कुछ ऐसा तुम्हें लग रहा है जो रह गया, मैंने नहीं पूछा या हम नहीं कवर कर पाए, तो प्लीज बोल सकते
या
हो.
या नहीं, एक चीज मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि या लाइक अ फियर, राइट, कि मतलब फियर होता है कि नहीं होता है और कौन से स्टेज पे होता है। तो मे बी तुम जॉब कर रहे हो और कुछ कर रहे हो और नहीं कर रहे हो, राइट। मे बी वंस अ वीक होता होगा, वंस अ मंथ होता होगा, इधर एवरी घंटे रहता है स्टार्टअप्स में, राइट, और फाउंडर्स में। सो इट्स नॉट लाइक कि हाँ फाउंडर बन गए, टाइटल आ गया तो यू आर, इट्स अ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, राइट। but it's a fun also ki, yeah, you are doing something, you are creating something, right? So you are innovating something. So yeah, and the guts, right, you build by doing small little things at a time. You are not like climbing mountain in one day. You are taking a baby steps, but yeah, baby steps are like you might have little bit phobia, but you get over, you sleep, you walk, you stressed out, but then relax and then go again and then try again and try again. And after a year, after 2 years, you will see the success. One important thing I also felt in my startup journey is you, what you feel, you start doing that, right? That's there. But in your journey, you will find a people to help you out, knowingly or unknowingly. And that is the biggest thing I see, and feeling fortunate in this entrepreneur journey, that I am getting an opportunity to meet so many wonderful peoples around me which I didn't know in the past. But they are like, okay, coming once in a while on LinkedIn, hey, I want to help you out, hey, can we connect and do XYZ. So my point is, don't worry about things are not only on your shoulder. There are people around you will come up in your process and will help you out to reach your destination. But yeah, keep going, because that is the only thing you need to do. Keep going.
Wow, man. No, I appreciate it. And I'm not that great of a person, but this was my way also to help you and context you in some way because literally last year when I heard you speaking and I had a lot of people lined up last year and I choose very consciously, कि किसको
Mhm.
आके बात करनी चाहिए because again a podcast maybe for some people YouTube का earning बिना मतलब के followers this that but for me it is none of that. I don't care about subscribers कितने आए views कितने आए. It's about अगर इस honest conversation से किसी भी एक इंसान का कुछ भला हो रहा होगा, that matters the most to me than anything else. So
Mhm.
I really appreciate this because yeah, this was very genuine and you're absolutely right. Unknowingly, knowingly public आती है कभी अच्छे तरीके से कभी बुरे तरीके से कुछ ना कुछ सिखा के ही जाते हैं जो भी मिलते हैं. It's a
And you are in your journey, so yeah, you take or either feedback or help, right? And you just keep going because तुमको तो उधर जाना ही है, तो yeah.
वैसे वैसे तो डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली इस पूरे कन्वर्सेशन में लोगों के लिए भर भर के एडवाइस थी, बच्चों के लिए स्पेशली भर भर के एडवाइस थी बिकॉज आई एम सेइंग बच्चे बिकॉज दे हैव दैट ऑलरेडी दैट स्पिरिट राइट कि हाँ हम कुछ करेंगे. आजकल वालों तो को तो बहुत कुछ करने की इच्छा है. सो आई होप सबके लिए वो वैसा हो. बट एनी पार्टिंग थॉट्स, एनी एडवाइस दैट यू हैव फॉर kids, adults, anybody who are listening to this conversation and they would want to, it
Mhm.
will help them in any way.
Yeah, so that's what my boss used to say, like Anupam, who was the CTO while I was working hard, like
Okay.
other conversation we had. Yeah, so time is gold in real sense. Okay, time is money, time is gold, or even more precious than it. So use it wisely. Even you are younger, you will have a plenty of life, but yeah, use it wisely. The
Mhm.
second thing I learned after coming to US is use resources. Out like around you, you might have resources like the mentors or those libraries and those institution who provides you the help, or find mentors somewhere and take their help. Don't feel shy, and find your steps to put your feet on and move forward, because yeah, utilizing resources, because you might not know there are so many resources around you, and you may be ignoring those things, and it might be too late when you need it, right? So yeah, use your resources. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, and I do not want to be a when I mention about Shah Rukh Khan, right? So don't be a philosopher before you become rich. So I haven't become rich, so I do not want to be a philosopher right now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. They suddenly start hating money, right? After they become rich. They're like, पैसा तो हाथ की मैल है.
हाँ हाँ हाँ
पैसा आने
तो
के बाद ही वो मैल दिखती है.
या तो या आई एम तो या बहुत ज्ञान नहीं बांटना है। अगर कुछ सीखना है, कुछ या प्रोग्राम में करना है कुछ इनोवेटिव, तो या यू कैन रीच आउट टू मी। लाइक जो भी ऑडियंस है, राइट? तो या प्लीज रीच आउट टू मी, एंड वी विल हैव another conversation, and I really like people who wants to do something, learn something, and all. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely understand that. I think when you're getting older, you don't have that energy to live up with every BS. You are like कि हाँ, ऐसे लोग ऐसा प्रोडक्ट, मतलब टेस्टिंग तो हर किसी चीज का कर सकते हैं. हम
Hmm.
वैक्सीन से लेके रॉकेट तक सबका टेस्टिंग करते हैं, बट अगेन यू वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? उसी चीज का टेस्टिंग करना है जो 10 साल तक करते आ रहे हैं, या फिर कुछ ऐसा जो कि इट्स गोइंग टू कंट्रीब्यूट फॉर द नेक्स्ट 10 years ऑफ माई कंट्री और माई नेशन और द वर्ल्ड और वट एवर. सो this makes absolute sense to me, Deep. And I know it's late and it is getting later for you, but I really appreciate this conversation wholeheartedly. And I respect you for your transparency, honesty with every answer that you gave. And I thank you कि you accepted my invitation to be a guest on this podcast. I really
Yeah.
mean it.
No, thank you very much for your time. One question I have for you, that your strong position, right? Like when I see your post or the way you speak, right? I say like, okay, in millions of audience, like you are the one person like who stands out, specifically the girls who speaks that way, or means very to the point, very much opinionated, right? And yeah, so yeah, so how do you get that guts, right? And or what's your because or I don't know, do I need to watch your previous videos to go through all this like your journey? Because I don't know you shared your journey or not anywhere. But yeah, I would like to know like how yeah, how you become what you are right now? Yeah.
Oh God. I didn't expect this. This is a total surprise for me, Deep. I didn't know तुम ऐसा कुछ करोगे मेरे साथ, but I respect the fact कि तुमने ये पूछा. And the one thing that comes to my head is I didn't have an option, really, other than being gutsy or whatever. So I I I thank you for the fact that you see me among the millions. I really am grateful for that. I don't know if I'm mad or foolish enough to be what I am. मतलब I told you before also, I don't know what else to be. मतलब मुझे नहीं आता कि अच्छा इसके सामने कुछ हो, फ्रेंड के सामने कुछ हो, मम्मी पापा के सामने कुछ हो, कंपनी में कुछ हो. I'm not that kind of a person. Plus, I also come from a middle class background. I come from a very orthodox North Indian family where the only thing a girl is supposed to do is get married.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that is what I thought I would भी, मतलब मुझे भी वही करना पड़ेगा जो ये सब सुनने आ रहा है वैसा होगा. बट लकीली अनलकीली मेरे पेरेंट्स दोनों पढ़े लिखे हैं. देवर लाइक नहीं बेटी है तो क्या, वो भी पढ़ेगी. एंड
Mhm.
आई वांटेड टू बी अ डॉक्टर, बट माय फादर बीइंग अ डॉक्टर ही वाज लाइक नहीं, डॉक्टर में बहुत स्ट्रेस है, इंजीनियर बन. एज इफ इंजीनियर में स्ट्रेस नहीं होता, इंजीनियर्स ही तो डॉक्टर्स के पास जाते हैं. सो सो या, हियर आई एम. एंड I don't know what else to do than being honest or truthful, because life is too short. Life
Mm,
is so short. And I have seen my mother undergoing cancer recurrence. So I really, like you said, I don't have time for bullshit and people who are, energy vampires or such. I have worked in toxic workplaces, and literally there came a point where I was like, भाई तू करते रह तेरा बकवास, मैं जा रही हूँ. I know my worth, and if you don't care or you don't respect, every time whenever I've resigned, it's basically my self respect and dignity that matters to me the most, and I'll leave. I don't care. जबकि हाँ, मुझे भी मेरी फैमिली सपोर्ट करनी है. आई एम द एल्डेस्ट इन माय फैमिली. My father wasn't earning, so I'm not that, I'm sorry, but not sorry. Daddy's princess, Papa ki pari. I didn't get any of that shit. So I've seen life real and hard. And I remember friends like, these guys who are your peers and who see you as, अच्छा ये लड़की क्लास में फर्स्ट आती है. They would be like कि अरे तू थोड़ा ऑडियंस में रहा कर श्रुति, इतना हीरो क्यों बनना है तुझे. And I never understood what they meant, because again मैं ऐसी पागल जैसी अभी हूँ, तभी भी वैसी ही थी. And I think I don't know what else to be. If you're not the hero of your own life, what else will you be? तुम्हारी
yeah.
लाइफ है, कुछ ना कुछ या तो करना पड़ेगा या सर्कमस्टेंसेस तुम्हारे साथ करते रहेंगे. तो
Mhm.
आई एम सॉरी, आई
No,
डोंट वांट टू मेक दिस माय
no, no,
माय
no, no,
पॉडकास्ट.
no, no, सही है.
I
Like you
wanted to give
clear.
you an honest reply because you have
नहीं,
been
नहीं,
with me. I
yeah,
had
yeah, नहीं, नहीं, सही है because yeah, you mentioned about the kids and young, but like girls, right? Where I see lots of things can be pushed forward, right? So they can see you
And
as a, like
I witnessed such horrible men at workplace, because I have always been in India, right? I've worked in India and in automation or testing. If you are in automation and if you're a girl, you're always the only female on the team. Always. In my whole 10 years of journey, I was the only female in the team. There are men who are crazy, would be like, अरे वो बॉम्बे में रहती है तो ड्रिंक तो करती होगी, स्मोक तो करती होगी. I'm like, क्यों? इंजीनियर है तो चलता है ना. I'm like, what rubbish is that? और there are managers would be like, अरे तुम लड़की हो, तुम्हें इतना ज्यादा पैसा लेके क्या करना है, मम्मी पापा के साथ तो रह रही हो. I've seen all sorts of nonsense. And then you understand, if you don't take a stand for yourself, these people are waiting to walk all over you.
Mhm.
I said na at the beginning, I didn't have any other option.
Correct, correct. नहीं, नहीं, सही है. But yeah, there are many things to learn from you to the girl for this as well.
Don't put
But
me in that, but yeah, I'm
yeah,
very
but yeah,
vegan.
yeah. Nice, nice talking to you. Yeah, thank you.
Same here, man. Same here. Thank you so much. And I hope I didn't take your time and this
No,
with.
no, no. It was fun. It was refreshing, and yeah, I think we will have more conversations moving forward as well. But yeah, yeah, really enjoyed yeah speaking with you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. We'll